All he knows is there's an open lane right here with his dominant hand, and his defender is coming this way, away from the ball. Here's a fun fact I learned about Micaiah Hebert today. He does his laundry on Fridays. Look at that spin cycle from the quarterback, gets it into Rocketshaw territory. The golden rule of being a homeowner and a basketball player: don't leave the back door open, as Roth finds Crass on the cut to the tin for the easy layup. But the Vols led at the break thanks to this man right here, Santiago Vescovi, with a finish smoother than a Kentucky bourbon. He had 16. How about Will Bednar tonight? No hits allowed through 6 innings of work. 47 pitches to get out of the first 2 innings, and he just hits cruise control after that. About 2 hours ago, all of these seats in front of me, to my left, to my right, and behind me, almost to the top of this section and the one to my left, were full of hockey fans here in South Mississippi waiting to hear the words that they've been waiting for years to hear. Hockey is coming back. Since then, here's the amount of interceptions Cade Crosby has thrown. Not a single interception in 2 months of football. This team is running itself like a Fortune 500 company right now. Week 1 for Southern Miss certainly looked different, with no tailgating and only 25% seating capacity. But not even a full stadium would have changed the stunned silence as 12.5-point underdog South Alabama took down the Golden Eagles 32-21. Standing on those sidelines was a moment that I will simply never forget. The way they did it, they got a flag down inside the red zone. They converted a 4th down, and then again they scored. With 2 seconds left in the game, they needed a touchdown, and they got it, and the play itself was spectacular.
Michael Dugan sat down with Paul Langham and shares his story of strength, perseverance, and the power of family.
A person's strength is often defined by who they are when times get tough. For D'Iberville girls soccer coach Paul Langham and his family, that began last January when he was diagnosed with colon cancer.
We've been dealing with chemo ever since, basically every other week. You know, it was a rough year, then COVID hit, and that was another obstacle. So a lot of things intertwined together to make it probably the worst year of my life, personally and professionally.
During chemo weeks, Paul says he's sometimes too sick to go to work, and yet he didn't miss a single game the entire season, even if it meant carrying a chemo bag up and down the sidelines or going directly from the hospital to the stadium.
Or one of the moments that I'm never going to forget is watching him come out of chemo, literally walking out of the chemo chair and getting in the car and driving straight to the soccer field and standing there on the sideline coaching a game. I don't know how he did it, and I secretly was sitting in the stands praying that he was A, feeling okay, and B, that, you know, nothing crazy was going to happen.
Paul's passion for soccer clearly runs deep. He's been a coach for as long as he and Leslie have been together, and his determination to continue to do what he loves, despite a non-stop fight off the field, is a true inspiration to the people he loves so dearly.
Like my mom said earlier, get up from a chair and go straight out to a soccer field. I don't know how to put that into words.
How much more can this man give? You know, he's given of himself physically to combating cancer, but also emotionally to the girls who they can't play a game without him.
Just as Paul's strength inspires those close to him, their admiration comes full circle and gives him the strength to keep fighting.
My sons and my wife have really supported me through all this, and it's hard to put in words. Without them, I don't think I'd make it even this far. My parents live not too far north. My brother's in Gulfport. My sister's outside of Hattiesburg. Younger brothers up in Massachusetts, don't get to see him as much, but it's wonderful to be able to have someone to lean on. Without them, it'd be impossible to get through this.
2 years after Ethan Small wrapped up a college career for the ages up in Starkville, he's back in the baseball-crazed Magnolia State, pitching for the Shuckers.
Obviously a lot of support here. Mississippi's a great baseball state. You know, you have Ole Miss and Mississippi State going to supers, and then obviously I'm here and we got a lot of fans, so it's just a really good time for Mississippi baseball.
With a career minor league ERA of 1.85 and 82 strikeouts in just under 50 innings of work, his numbers pop off the page. But the road to the minors has been far from easy. Small underwent Tommy John surgery back in 2016 and missed his entire sophomore season in 2017.
It was tough, no doubt it was tough. I remember coming back Initially, I was slated to be a reliever, and I ended up meeting with some of the coaches at State saying, hey, I think I want to start. And we had those conversations, and obviously it was a much longer road than I can explain. And that year, honestly, it turned out to be a pretty good year, 2018 did.
Pretty good, maybe selling it a bit short. He was 4th nationally in games started and top 20 in strikeouts. In 2019, he took home National Pitcher of the Year. After spending 2020 at the Brewers' alternate site in Appleton, Wisconsin, he currently leads the Shuckers in strikeouts.
I feel pretty good. I think a lot of it has to do with, we lost the season last year, and now we're starting to get into some games and kind of getting back in the rhythm of things and feeling a lot better about it.
His impressive opening month began on the highest of notes. In just his second start of the season, the Shuckers combined to throw the team's first ever 9-inning no-hitter.
Let's go! That was pretty fun, action-packed night, and then I got to share it with a lot of other guys too. I remember I came out and talked to my parents or whatever, and then I got called back in because a beer shower was taking place, so I had to go be a part of that.
He may not be back to his old stomping grounds of Duty Noble Field, but his MSU passion still runs deep. And even though he's set to pitch this upcoming weekend, he'll still have an eye on his former squad.
Go Dogs. See you in Omaha.
McHenry's Tyler Cobb was playing baseball at Mississippi Gulf Coast just a couple of years ago before he found a new passion of his, cornhole.
We got started pretty much just like everybody else. We just kind of threw in the backyard or at get-togethers, and then we just kind of were like, no, we're pretty good. And we found out that there was tournaments, like real cornhole tournaments, so we started going to them, and it just kind of took off from there.
It wasn't long until Tyler turned his passion into a career. At just 21 years old, he's officially a member of the American Cornhole League.
In the ACL, you get points by like winning regionals and stuff like that. And I won a few regionals and got good points. Then we went to our conference tournaments, which is like at a bigger stage. I did good at those, and then we went to the World Championships last August, and that's where I qualified to be a pro.
In his first year as a pro, Tyler won the ACL Pro Shootout Doubles Championship in early June.
On the way, and he hits the airball, but he can't drag it in.
Prior to traveling for tournaments, Tyler had never flown on an airplane before. But his newfound love changed that, and he's become close friends with his teammates and his competitors.
I have friends all over the place. I mean, from one end of the United States to the other. You don't go to many cornhole tournaments and meet many people that you don't like. Everybody, they're good people, but at the same time, they like to be serious about it. They're not just messing around, and I think that's what I like about it the most.
The first chapter of his career has been wildly successful. How many chapters of it are left? Well, he's not so sure. But no matter how long the book ends up being, he'll be perfectly content.
I'll take it as far as it'll take me, but I'm going to ride it as long as I can. If it takes me my whole life, if it don't, just keep playing, keep trying to win, and if I keep winning, I'll keep playing. If I stop winning, I'll stop, I guess.